Can you feel it right now? That unexplainable stirring in your chest. That's not anxiety. That's not fear. That's your spirit recognizing a divine appointment. Let me ask you something, and I need you to be brutally honest with yourself. How many nights have you laid awake, staring at the ceiling, wondering when your breakthrough would come? How many times have you worked yourself to exhaustion, only to watch others, people less faithful, less deserving, walk into the abundance you've been praying for? And here's the question that cuts deepest. What if I told you that your struggle to make ends meet was never supposed to be your burden in the first place? I know that hit you because you're tired. You're exhausted from carrying a weight that God never intended for you to bear. Here's a truth that's going to shake everything you thought you knew. From this moment forward, it is no longer your duty to provide for yourself. It is God's, not as a wish, not as a hope, but as a divine, unbreakable covenant sealed with His word and backed by His character. You didn't stumble onto this message by accident. The algorithm didn't randomly suggest this video. Heaven itself orchestrated this moment. God saw you typing those desperate prayers into your phone at 2 a.m. He saw you checking your bank account with that sinking feeling in your stomach. He saw you putting on a brave face while your heart was breaking under the weight of financial pressure. And He said, "Enough. It's time to tell my chosen one the truth." The truth is, this God has taken full responsibility for your wealth. Your prosperity is now His divine duty. This isn't about you working harder, hustling smarter, or figuring out some secret formula. This is about God Himself stepping into your financial situation and saying, "I've got this. You rest, I'll provide." Think about that for a second. The Creator of the universe, the one who spoke galaxies into existence, who numbers every star and calls them by name. He has made your abundance His personal responsibility, not because you've earned it, not because you're perfect, but because you are His chosen one and He keeps His promises. Now, before we go any deeper into this life-altering revelation, I need you to do something powerful right now. And I'm asking this not for me, but for you, because this simple act activates something in the spiritual realm. Hit that like button, subscribe to join thousands of chosen ones who are stepping into their divine inheritance. And in the comments type the number 99. That number carries prophetic weight. It represents the 99 sheep that were safe while the shepherd went after the one that was lost. You are that one. God is coming after you right now with provision, with abundance, with a supernatural overflow that will shock everyone who ever doubted you. Stay with me, chosen one, because what I'm about to reveal will dismantle every lie the enemy has whispered to you about your worth, your future, and your finances. Your season of struggle ends today. God is speaking, and He's calling you by name. Why do you think you've been struggling while others seem to coast through life? Why does it feel like you've been carrying a burden that's breaking your back while watching people with less faith, less character, less devotion walk into blessings that should have been yours? And here's the question that's going to cut straight to your soul. What if everything you've been taught about earning God's favor was a lie designed to keep you stuck. Let me tell you something that's going to shake the foundation of everything you thought you knew about your identity. You were never, and I mean never, meant to live this way. Not the sleepless nights, not the constant worry, not the feeling of being overlooked while the world celebrates people who don't even acknowledge God's name. You are not ordinary. You never were. You are God's chosen one. And I don't say that lightly. I don't say that to make you feel good for 30 seconds before reality crashes back in. I say it because it's written in the eternal pages of heaven's book, stamped with the authority of the Almighty Himself. Before you took your first breath, before your mother knew your name, God looked at you and said, this one is mine. This one carries my glory. This one will know abundance that defies human logic. Ephesians 1:4 says it plainly. He chose us in Him before the foundation of the world. That's not poetic language. That's legal documentation in the courts of heaven. You were chosen before the stars were hung, before the oceans knew their boundaries. You were marked, selected, set apart. But here's where the enemy has deceived you. He made you believe that being chosen meant you had to work harder, pray longer, sacrifice more, prove yourself worthy. And so you've been striving, hustling, grinding yourself into dust, thinking that's what God requires. That's the lie that's been stealing your destiny. Listen to me carefully. God's promise to you is one of constant, eternal abundance. This isn't about a one-time breakthrough that fades. This isn't about a temporary blessing that disappears when the winds of life shift. This is about God taking personal divine responsibility for your prosperity from this day forward. Not just financial wealth, though, that's absolutely included, but peace that passes understanding, health that defies medical reports, and purpose so clear it silences every doubt the enemy ever planted in your mind. Jeremiah 29:11 declares, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." That word prosper in Hebrew is shalom, complete, total, overwhelming well-being in every area of your existence. That's what God promised you. Not survival, not barely making it. Overwhelming abundance in every dimension of your life. In Malachi 3:10, God Himself says, "Test me in this. See if I will not throw open the floodgates of heaven and pour out so much blessing that there will not be room enough to store it." God is literally challenging you to test His ability to provide. He's that confident in His commitment to you. But I know what you're thinking. I can feel the weight of what you're carrying right now. You're thinking, I've heard this before. I've prayed these prayers. I've believed these promises. And I'm still struggling. I'm still broke. I'm still watching everyone else succeed while I'm stuck. I know. I see you. God sees you. And I'm telling you right now, with the authority of God's word, backing every syllable. From this moment forward, the struggle ends. Divine provision begins. Not because you finally figured out the formula, not because you earned it, but because God has made a covenant decision that your season of lack is over. He's stepping into your finances, your health, your relationships, your purpose. And He's saying, I'm taking over from here. This is my responsibility now. Watch what I do. This is not theory. This is not theology. This is about to become your testimony. And everyone who doubted you, everyone who counted you out, everyone who whispered that you'd never make it. They're about to witness the undeniable evidence that when God chooses someone, no force in hell or on earth can stop what He's ordained. But you have to make a choice right now. You have to decide if you're going to keep carrying this burden or if you're finally going to release it into God's hands and let Him fulfill His divine duty to provide for you. So, here's my question for you. Are you ready to stop striving and start receiving? Because what comes next is going to blow your mind. Now that you understand who you are, God's chosen one, let me show you something that's going to fundamentally change how you approach every single day for the rest of your life. Close your eyes for just a moment. I want you to picture a river, not just any river, but one that flows from the throne room of heaven itself. Crystal clear, powerful, endless. No matter how much water is drawn from it, it never diminishes. It never slows. It never runs dry. Because its source isn't a mountain spring or rainfall. Its source is God Himself, infinite, inexhaustible, eternal. That river, that's your provision. That's what God has opened up for you from this day forward. You've been living like you're drawing from a well that might run dry at any moment. Checking the depth, rationing what you take, afraid that if you use too much today, there won't be enough tomorrow. But God is saying, stop living from a well. I'm giving you a river, and this river flows directly from my throne. It cannot run dry because I cannot run dry. Psalm 46:4 says, "There is a river whose streams make glad the city of God." That river isn't just symbolic. It's the continuous, unending flow of God's provision into your life. Financial provision, emotional provision, physical provision, spiritual provision. Everything you need flowing constantly, unstoppably, abundantly. For years, maybe decades, you've been operating under a belief system that said your survival depended on you. Your income depended on your job. Your security depended on your savings. Your future depended on your plans. And so, you've been carrying the crushing weight of being your own provider. Every bill was your responsibility. Every need was your problem to solve. Every crisis was your emergency to handle. And it's exhausted. You hasn't it? Let me tell you something that's going to feel like laying down 1,000-pound weight. It was never supposed to be your responsibility in the first place. God never intended for you to carry that burden. He never designed you to be the source of your own provision. He designed you to be a vessel, a channel through which His provision flows. Matthew 6:26 says it clearly. Look at the birds of the air. They do not sow or reap or store away in barns, and yet your heavenly Father feeds them. Are you not much more valuable than they? Jesus isn't telling you to be lazy. He's telling you to understand the hierarchy of provision. God feeds the birds. How much more will He provide for His chosen ones? From this moment forward, your wealth is God's duty, not His suggestion, not His option, His divine covenant responsibility. He has taken ownership of your provision the same way a father takes ownership of providing for his children. You don't see a 5-year-old worrying about the mortgage, do you? No, because that's not the child's responsibility. That's the father's duty, and you are God's child. Philippians 4:19 declares, And my God will meet all your needs according to the riches of his glory in Christ Jesus. Notice, it doesn't say might meet or could meet. It says will meet. That's a guarantee. That's a covenant. That's God putting his reputation on the line for your provision. So, right now, I want you to make a declaration. I want you to speak this out loud, even if you're alone. I am chosen. My wealth is God's responsibility. I release the burden of provision, and I receive the peace of his promise. Say it again. I am chosen. My wealth is God's responsibility. And if this is resonating in your spirit, if something is breaking loose inside you right now, I want you to go to the comments and type 777. That number represents divine completion, perfection, and the fullness of God's provision. When you type that number, you're not just engaging with a video. You're making a declaration in the spiritual realm that you are ready to receive everything God has been holding for you. Because here's the truth, God's provision isn't stuck. Your ability to receive it was. But that's changing right now. The river is flowing, the floodgates are open, and everything you've been waiting for is about to rush into your life with a force that will leave you breathless. But you have to let go of control. You have to release the striving. You have to surrender the burden. Can you do that? Because what happens next depends on your willingness to trust God at a level you've never trusted him before. You feel it, don't you? That shift happening inside your chest right now. That's not emotion. That's not motivation. Fading in and out like it always does. That's your spirit recognizing a frequency it was designed to operate on. You're not waiting for your destiny anymore. Your destiny is waiting for you to finally claim it. Here's what's happening in the unseen realm. While you're listening to these words, wealth is no longer something you're chasing. Wealth is chasing you. Opportunities you didn't apply for are being arranged. Connections you never sought are being orchestrated. Doors you didn't even know existed are swinging open with your name already engraved on them. And I need you to understand something crucial. This isn't about wishful thinking or positive affirmations. This is about divine alignment. When you align with God's will, when you stop operating in your own strength and surrender to his plan, you activate a spiritual law that even heaven must honor. Proverbs 10:22 says it clearly. The blessing of the Lord brings wealth without painful toil for it. Without painful toil. Let that sink in. And you've been toiling. You've been straining. You've been breaking yourself, trying to manufacture what God was always planning to deliver supernaturally. But something's different now. You're climbing. Not by your effort, but by divine elevation. Every rung on this ladder of faith is being built by God's hand as you step forward. You're not hoping for wealth, you're walking into it. You're not praying for overflow, you're already standing in it. The shift has already occurred in the heavenly realms. What you're experiencing now is simply the manifestation catching up with the spiritual reality that's already established. Think about Abraham. God told him, I will make you into a great nation, and I will bless you, and you will be a blessing. Genesis 12:2. Notice the progression. First, God blesses you. Then you become a blessing. Abraham didn't become wealthy by accident. His abundance was a divine assignment. And that same pattern is activating in your life right now. You're not just about to receive enough to pay your bills. You're stepping into overflow. A life where every single step you take creates ripples of blessing. Where your presence alone shifts atmospheres. Where people look at you and can't explain your success by natural means because it defies every statistical probability. This is what Deuteronomy 28:11 promised. The Lord will grant you abundant prosperity, not modest provision, not barely enough. Abundant prosperity. So much that you'll have to find creative ways to steward it. So much that your greatest challenge won't be lack. It'll be managing the overflow. God's blessings on your life are meant to overflow into your family, your community, your generation, and generations you'll never meet. You're not being enriched so you can hoard. You're being enriched so you can become a conduit, a river, not a reservoir. 2 Corinthians 9:11 says, "You will be enriched in every way, so that you can be generous on every occasion." Yaton is about to make you so wealthy that generosity becomes your lifestyle. Not the kind of giving that hurts, but the kind that brings you joy because you're finally operating in the purpose you were created for. Your abundance isn't just about upgrading your lifestyle, though God absolutely wants you to live well. It's about you becoming His hand extended to a world desperate for proof that He still moves, still provides, still cares. When you step into this wealth, you're stepping into a role of service. You're becoming a living, breathing answer to someone else's prayer. And here's the beautiful part. The more you give, the more God gives you. It's not a transaction, it's a multiplication. Luke 6:38 promises, "Give, and it will be given to you. A good measure pressed down, shaken together, and running over will be poured into your lap." That's not a suggestion. That's a spiritual law. You can't outgive God. Try it. He'll overwhelm you with blessing every single time, and they won't be able to deny it. Your testimony won't be something you have to force or exaggerate. It'll be so evident, so overwhelming, so supernatural, that even skeptics will have to acknowledge that God's hand is on your life. So, if you're ready, if you truly believe that God is about to transform your life and use your abundance to change the world, I need you to take action right now. Type 888 in the comments. That number represents new beginnings, resurrection, and the fullness of God's promise manifesting in your life. It's a declaration that you're ready, ready to receive, ready to overflow, ready to receive, ready to overflow, ready to become the vessel of transformation God created you to be. Don't just watch this happen to others. Don't sit on the sidelines of your own destiny. Step in, declare it, activate it. Because the wealth isn't coming someday. It's already in motion, and it has your name written all over it. Now, I need to tell you something that might frustrate you at first, but will ultimately set you free. You may not see everything clearly yet, and that's exactly how it's supposed to be. I know that's not what you want to hear. You want the full blueprint. You want the timeline. You want to know exactly when the check is coming, exactly when the door opens, exactly when the breakthrough manifests. You want to see the entire staircase before you take the first step. But that's not how faith works. That's not how God works. Proverbs 3:5-6 says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to him, and he will make your paths straight." Notice, it doesn't say understand everything first, then trust. It says trust instead of understanding. That's the key that unlocks everything. Your breakthrough is not in your hands. It never was. And that's not a weakness, that's your greatest strength. Because when it's in God's hands, it's untouchable. The economy can't affect it. Your past can't disqualify it. Your enemies can't stop it. Hell itself can't prevent it. Think about Abraham. God promised him a son, a nation, blessings beyond measure. Then God asked him to wait, and wait, and wait. 25 years. 25 years of looking at Sarah's aging body. 25 years of wondering if he heard God correctly. 25 years of well-meaning friends probably whispering, maybe you misunderstood, maybe it's not literal, maybe it's symbolic. But Abraham didn't need to see the how. He just needed to know the who. And when Isaac finally arrived, the wait made sense. The delay wasn't denial. It was preparation. God was building Abraham's faith to a level that could sustain the weight of the promise. That's what's happening with you right now. This waiting season you've been in, it hasn't been wasted time. Every single day of delay has been a day of divine preparation. God has been strengthening your character, expanding your capacity, deepening your trust, and positioning you for a blessing so massive that if it came before you were ready, it would destroy you instead of elevate you. Ecclesiastes 3:11 says, "He has made everything beautiful in its time, not in your time, in His time, and His timing is always, always perfect. Not early, not late. Exactly when you need it, exactly when you're ready for it, exactly when it will have maximum impact." But I know what's happening in your mind right now. I can feel the battle raging in your thoughts, because even as you're hearing these words, even as your spirit is leaping in recognition of truth, there's a voice, a subtle, insidious whisper trying to steal what's being planted in you right now. This sounds good, but it's not for me. I've failed too many times. I've made too many mistakes. I'm not actually chosen. I'm not actually worthy. This is for other people, the really spiritual ones, the ones who have it all together, not me. That voice, that's not wisdom. That's not humility. That's not even you. That's the enemy's last desperate attempt to keep you from your destiny. Let me tell you what the enemy knows that you're just beginning to understand. When you walk in the fullness of God's blessing, you don't just change your life. You dismantle His entire strategy. You become a living testimony that God is faithful. You become proof that His promises aren't metaphors, they're realities. You become a beacon that draws others out of the darkness the enemy worked so hard to trap them in. Think about Noah. God told him to build an ark when it had never rained. No flood, no clouds, just a promise and a command. If Noah had waited until he understood, he would have drowned. But he obeyed before he understood, and that obedience saved his entire family. God is giving you instructions right now, not just through this message, but in your spirit. There are things He's telling you to do, steps He's telling you to take, people He's telling you to forgive, habits He's telling you to release, seeds He's telling you to sow. Speak out loud. I don't care who's around you. I don't care how crazy it sounds. Speak these words. I trust God's timing. I believe His promises. I am chosen, and my breakthrough is already here. Say it. Mean it. Let those words pierce through every layer of doubt the enemy has built around your heart. Because the moment you declare it with your mouth, something shifts in the spirit realm. Romans 10:10 says, "It is with your heart that you believe and are justified, and it is with your mouth that you profess your faith and are saved." Your profession matters. Your declaration matters. Your obedience matters. But there's one more truth you need to understand before this fully clicks into place. One more revelation that's going to seal everything we've talked about and show you exactly what happens when God's chosen ones finally step into their full authority. You are no longer a victim of your past. You are a victor walking in divine destiny. You are no longer defined by what you lost. You are defined by what God is restoring. You are no longer limited by your education, your background, your age, your mistakes, or your failures. You are only limited by your willingness to believe what God says about you over what your circumstances have said about you. In Isaiah chapter 61, verse 1 through 3, the prophet describes the anointing of the Messiah, which Jesus quoted when he began his ministry. The Spirit of the Sovereign Lord is on me because the Lord has anointed me to proclaim good news to the poor. He has sent me to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim freedom for the captives, and release from darkness for the prisoners. Listen to what comes next. To proclaim the year of the Lord's favor, and the day of vengeance of our God, to comfort all who mourn, and provide for those who grieve in Zion, to bestow on them a crown of beauty instead of ashes, the oil of joy instead of mourning, and a garment of praise instead of a spirit of despair. That is the exchange happening right now in your life. Ashes for beauty, mourning for joy, despair for praise. But notice the last part of verse 3. They will be called oaks of righteousness, a planting of the Lord for the display of His splendor. You are not just being blessed for your own benefit. You are being transformed into a display case of God's splendor. Your life is becoming a living testimony that God keeps His promises, that He rewards faithfulness, that He elevates the humble and lifts the lowly from the dust. People are going to look at you in 6 months, in a year, in 5 years, and they will not recognize you. Not because of superficial changes, though those will come too, but because the very essence of who you are will radiate a glory that can only come from prolonged exposure to the presence of God. Your countenance will change. Your voice will carry authority. Your presence will shift atmospheres. Why? Because you are no longer just a person trying to survive. You are a vessel filled with the glory of God, and that glory cannot be contained. It must overflow into everything and everyone you touch. This is it. This is your season. Not the season you've been waiting for, the season that's been waiting for you to finally step into it. Everything in your life up until this moment has been preparation. Every closed door taught you discernment. Every delayed answer built your faith. Every moment of lack positioned you to steward abundance with wisdom. You weren't being punished. You were being prepared. And now, the preparation is complete. What's about to flood your life isn't just provision for yourself. It's provision that flows through you like a river. You're not becoming wealthy so you can build bigger barns and store it all away. You're becoming wealthy because God needs someone He can trust with resources that will change lives, shift communities, and alter the trajectory of generations. Isaiah 61 verse 6 declares, "You will feast on the wealth of nations, not struggle with it, not barely access it. Feast on it." That's abundance language. That's overflow language. That's the language of someone who has so much that scarcity becomes a foreign concept. And that's exactly where you're headed. Your life is about to become a walking, breathing testimony that God keeps His promises. People who knew you before won't be able to reconcile who you were with who you're becoming. They'll see the transformation and know not suspect, not wonder, but know that only God could have done this. Your story will become the proof others need to believe that He still moves, still provides, still elevates His chosen ones above every circumstance. Right now, if you feel this shift happening, if you sense something breaking off of you and something new being placed on you, I need you to type 888 in the comments. That number represents new beginnings, divine order, and resurrection power. When you type it, you are not performing a ritual. You are making a declaration that you are no longer who you were, that you are stepping into the fullness of the identity God has prepared for you, and that nothing will ever be the same again. Type it now, because your confession activates the transformation that heaven has already decreed. This is it. This is your season. Not the season you've been waiting for, the season that's been waiting for you to finally step into it. Everything in your life, up until this moment, has been preparation. Every closed door taught you discernment. Every delayed answer built your faith. Every moment of lack positioned you to steward abundance with wisdom. You weren't being punished. You were being prepared. And now, the preparation is complete. What's about to flood your life isn't just provision for yourself. It's provision that flows through you like a river. You're not becoming wealthy so you can build bigger barns and store it all away. You're becoming wealthy because God needs someone He can trust with resources that will change lives, shift communities, and alter the trajectory of generations. Isaiah 61:6 declares, "You will feast on the wealth of nations, not struggle with it, not barely access it. Feast on it." That's abundance language. That's overflow language. That's the language of someone who has so much that scarcity becomes a foreign concept. And that's exactly where you're headed. Your life is about to become a walking, breathing testimony that God keeps His promises. People who knew you before won't be able to reconcile who you were with, who you're becoming. They'll see the transformation and know, not suspect, not wonder, but know that only God could have done this. Your story will become the proof others need to believe that He still moves, still provides, still elevates His chosen ones above every circumstance. But here's what makes this moment so powerful. You're not stepping into this alone. Right now, all across this nation, And around the world, there are thousands of chosen ones hearing the same message, feeling the same stirring, making the same decision to finally let go and let God fulfill His divine duty to provide. You're part of a movement, a generation of believers who refuse to live beneath their inheritance any longer. And when God moves on behalf of a generation, mountains don't just move, they're obliterated. Psalm 37:4 says, "Take delight in the Lord, and He will give you the desires of your heart." Not some of them, not the small ones, all of them. Every dream you've buried because it seemed too big, every vision you've dismissed because you couldn't see how it would happen. Every desire you felt guilty for having because religious tradition told you that wanting abundance was somehow unspiritual. God is about to resurrect every single one and bring it to pass in ways that exceed what you imagined. This is the fullness of His promise. Not partial, not conditional, full and complete. And now, I need you to make a declaration that seals this moment in the spiritual realm. This isn't superstition. This is faith taking action. When you declare your alignment with God's will, you're not trying to convince Him. You're confirming to the enemy that his season of stealing from you is over. You're announcing to heaven that you're ready to receive everything God has been holding for you. Don't hesitate. Don't overthink it. This is your moment to plant a flag in the ground and say, "This is where my story changes. This is where lack ends and overflow begins. This is where I stop striving and start receiving." 777. Type it now. Let it be your declaration that from this day forward, you're walking in divine provision, divine favor, and divine abundance that cannot be stopped, cannot be delayed, and cannot be denied. And as we close this sacred moment together, I want to pray over you. Not a religious prayer that sounds nice but changes nothing. A prayer of activation. A prayer that releases what heaven has already prepared. Heavenly Father, I come before you right now on behalf of every person hearing these words, every chosen one who has struggled, who has doubted, who has wondered if their breakthrough would ever come. Lord, you see them. You know their names. You know every sleepless night, every tear they've cried, every moment they wanted to give up, but chose to hold on to your promise instead. And right now, in Jesus' name, I declare that their season of lack is over. I declare that from this moment forward, you are taking divine responsibility for their wealth, their health, their peace, and their purpose. I declare that doors are opening that no man can shut, that opportunities are manifesting, that defy natural explanation, that provision is flowing from sources they haven't even imagined yet. I break every chain of poverty, every curse of lack, every generational pattern of struggle. I declare that this chosen one is stepping into overflow, not someday, but right now. That their life will become a testimony of your faithfulness, so powerful that it will draw others out of darkness and into your marvelous light. Thank you for choosing them. Thank you for guiding them to this moment. Thank you for the abundance that's already in motion, the miracles that are already manifested in the spiritual realm and about to break through into the natural. We receive it. We believe it. We walk in it. In Jesus' mighty name, amen. Chosen one, this is not the end. This is the beginning. Your new life starts now. God's duty to provide for you is in full effect, and nothing, absolutely nothing, will stop what He has ordained. Now go. Walk in your abundance. Live in your overflow. And become the testimony that changes the world. Your season is here, and it's unstoppable. So let me ask you one final time. Will you walk away from this moment unchanged? Or will you allow what you have heard to penetrate so deep into your spirit that you can never return to who you were before? When you close this video and step back into your everyday life, will you carry the weight of this divine invitation with you? Or will you let it evaporate like morning mist forgotten by tomorrow? And most importantly, when heaven reviews the recording of this exact moment, will the angels see someone who heard the call and responded, or someone who heard the truth and chose comfortable slavery over terrifying freedom? Out of billions of people on this planet, you were guided to the message at this precise moment in your life. That is not coincidence. That is divine appointment. You have been called. The question is, will you be chosen? The wealth God is releasing into your life is not optional. It is not a bonus feature you can decline because you are comfortable with your current level of struggle. This is a divine mandate. God is not asking your permission to bless you. He is commanding you to receive what He has already prepared. And with that blessing comes an assignment that is bigger than you, more important than your comfort, and more urgent than you realize. Thank you for being a part of this sacred moment. If this message has touched your soul, I invite you to take a moment and reflect. Let the abundance of God's promises take root in your heart and transform your life forever. Subscribe to this channel because more revelation is coming. Like this video because your engagement sends a signal to others who need to hear this message. And comment below with what God is speaking to your spirit right now. The invitation has been extended. The door is open. Your name has been called. Now, chosen one, will you answer?